Okay, welcome everyone to this video. I'm starting a new short series where I'm just going to be having some casual dialogues with some of the top cubers across various events from Singapore. And the main goal of this is just so that we get to know a bit more about them before Singapore Championship and look at who's in the running for the podium. So starting us off with this first episode, we have Emmanuel Kao, who is an up-and-coming big cube solver from Singapore. Even though he only has a 2022 ID, he's shot his way up quick in the rankings to become one of the best big cubers so in Singapore and the world. So how are you doing, Emmanuel?
I'm doing pretty good today. Yeah, thanks. Hope you're doing
Oh,
well as well.
yeah. That's good to hear. Yeah, so I guess one thing I want to know is how did you decide to focus on big cubes?
I think at the start it was like like a lot of other cubers we started with 3x3. Then I realized it was like just getting too competitive and I just like switched to another event. Like I
Right,
think that's the
that's
story for
fair.
most people as well.
Yeah, that's fair because like I guess when you first get into cubing and since it's the main event, you you tend to have a lot of people practicing it.
Yeah.
And it's like I always say that, if you make that your main event, after each week or after each comp, your ranking will drop 10 ranks if you're not
Yeah,
constantly on the ball, right?
exactly.
Yeah, right. And so also following up on that, I see that recently you've been posting many impressive salts on YouTube. So how's your practice going?
I think recently I've just been trying to do more solves, get used to the way I'm turning. I'm not really trying to change much, especially like 2 weeks out from competition, like national championship is my first one. So just
Oh, your
trying
first
to,
one.
yeah, this is
Right.
my first one. I didn't go to last year's one.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
this is my
Okay.
first one. And yeah, I've just been practicing as many solves as I can, just get used to what I'm doing.
Yeah. Because I mean, like you said, it's 2 weeks before. So
Yeah.
you use this practice strategy for all comps. That like when you get near to
Um,
the comp, this is basically just what you do.
Usually I only do this for comps that like have a lot of fast big cubers, which is basically all Singapore comps. But
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
I think yeah, especially for this, I just want to get used to the way I'm turning and don't get nervous. Don't change anything right before the competition. Should be fine.
Yeah. You kind of want to make it you kind of want to make you want to make it automatic.
Yeah, like everything I'm doing has to be like automatic. It can't just be like, oh, I have to think there for like 2 seconds. That's gonna like use up
Yeah.
time eventually.
Yeah. Then so you mentioned about the turning, get used to your turning. So
Yeah.
from what I understand, you recently started to turn slower, which has in turn led to your times becoming faster. Can
Yeah.
you would tell the viewers a bit about this?
Uh, so I think with regards to turning, it's very important to understand that it's not just about turning faster, it's also about turning fluidly. So the way you can do that is probably like get a bet like use a good cube and practice on it. Like get used to the cube and don't like keep constantly switching cubes because that's like really bad in my opinion. And of course, drill your algs. Like yeah, just drill your algorithms every now and then. Practice PLL, OLLs here and there. And yeah,
Right, yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah. Because I would also guess that maybe for someone who's not necessarily into big cubes, when you try to start practicing big cubes, your method of turning, like you said, you drill the OLL, PLL, even though you
Yeah.
may be able to perform it very well on 3x3, the turning is quite a lot different, right?
Yeah, especially the finger tricks on big cubes. You have to get used to them. Like it's like you're gonna use the 3x3 ones on big cubes, and that's terrible. Like especially the risky ones. That's really bad.
Do you have an example of stuff
Like
that I do?
on 7x7, like let's just say we're doing a J perm, then you use your thumb to flick up.
Oh yeah.
Use that instead of like using your index here. because that can be a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. That's one of the things that I also found with my experience. I mean, not that I do big cubes a lot, but yeah,
Yeah,
just the grip is a bit
it's a bit
different.
risky. Like when the layers pull apart, that's a bit
Yeah, yeah.
awkward.
So for GPEMs, I'm guessing you don't do you use the RUD ones?
Because I haven't tried to switch, I am unfortunately using them. But the hardware is like good enough that I don't have to really switch, I think. Big cubes are getting to the point where you can pretty much use most of your 3x3 finger tricks on them. Like, you
Right.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. Yeah. Um, so the next thing I also want to ask is that well, you're known for getting really fast times with Yao 5
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I want to discuss a bit about, Yao versus Yao 5 for you personally, the pros and cons that whether it fits your turning style or solving style or not.
For me, I think Yao 5 is like, it could be as good as Yao for me or slightly better. But I'm trying to switch back to Yao. Not switch back, like switch to Yao, not proper normal Yao after championships. So
Right.
yeah, but I think the good thing about Yao 5 is the look ahead in last four edges. But you don't get to use
That's
the
yeah.
M prime U2M technique, which is a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
unfortunate, but I'm trying to get like used to M prime U2M after championships. That would be probably help with my times quite a bit.
Well, actually, I just thought of this now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Let's say you have one edge in the top layer at the back, and then your front two F12 slots, the edges are not fixed, right? So you
Yeah.
could technically do a F or F prime, then do M prime U to M, right? Something like that.
Mm, but I mean, yeah, but I haven't really thought about that. I mean that's a good idea, but I'm not gonna switch to it right before competition.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. It's just something you might explore, see if it might work for you. And then, so you said that you think Yao 5 might be faster for you.
For
Is
me
it
personally, because look ahead is one thing that I really want to be good at. Apart
right,
from my
right?
turning, I think my efficiency is not for me. I think I'm more of a
Uh-huh.
turning and look ahead type of guy.
Yeah, yeah, because I did see some of your souls and you basically almost never pause for more than 0.5 seconds,
It's
which
just like
is really
turn
impressive.
fast and yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
turn well, not turn fast, turn well.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I think the general consensus is that Yao is actually better than Yao 5. I think everyone knows that.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why I'm using Yao 5, but like, yeah, it's just pretty good for me.
Well, but how did you even start to use Yao 5 in the first place, actually? Like, did
I
you
watched like
get the
J
tutorial
Perm,
or that?
J Perm,
Oh, yeah.
and Chris Olsen, because the two of them, more of like the pioneers. No, Chris Olsen was more of the pioneer of Yao 5, and then J Perm, I just watched him. He was pretty influential back then, in like 2, 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
A lot of 5x5 videos.
Right, yeah, I do remember there was one video Chris posted. It was also on the 5x5, right?
Yeah,
For Yao 5. Yeah, I remember that one. It's quite an old video. And
yeah, it was just like I started to use it. Then I realized it's not as bad as people say. Oh, and also like Kieran Bihan, because at the time, like 2, 3 years ago, when I just started, I didn't really know what to use. I was kind of switching between Yao and Redux. Then when I found out about Yao 5, it was like, oh, this method has good look ahead. Why don't I use it? And then I tried it.
right, right, yeah. And so the next thing I want to ask you also is on your last two centers. So for last
Yeah.
two centers, well, let's not talk about 2 weeks before the comp, but in your normal practice,
Mm.
do you try to practice just looking ahead more in last two centers, or you try to, slow down and do some fancy solutions for that?
I'm not really a fancy solutions type of guy, even during normal practice. I think the main thing for last two centers is really about noticing the good cases because there's so little places the pieces can be. It's almost always set up in a good 2x4 position, especially for 6x6. Like 6x6,
Uh-huh.
the 2x4s can make two bars
Yeah,
at once.
yeah.
You should almost always do that.
Right, right. Yeah.
So
Okay,
I'm just focused
that's
on
good.
turning well, not really. The solutions is not that difficult for last two centers.
Oh, so I'm guessing you'll just instinctively do them rather than trying to,
Yeah.
memorize them as alks and look
Because
at
I
the
think my
case.
solutions are pretty all right already. It's not really that bad that I have to
Mm,
switch.
right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um, right. And the next thing I guess that we can discuss about is the future of big cubes in Singapore and
Yeah.
Asia. Because right now, at least the way I see it is that in Singapore,
Yeah.
obviously you are the prominent big cube solver, and then we have Daryl. But apart from that, I see that there is still quite some room for other people to catch up.
I think yeah, apart from the top three, we have me, Daryl, and Tristan Chua.
Yeah,
I think the three of us are pretty like far and away the top three. I'm not sure
yeah,
if that's
yeah.
arrogant to say, but I think it's pretty clear from the times as well. Like
Yeah, no,
are far and away top three.
it's not arrogant. It's true.
Yeah.
It's a fact of the matter.
There's not
Yeah.
really any other way to say it. I think the closest to us would at the moment would probably be Yong Teng, who is more of a three by
Yeah,
three guy. But I think on big cubes he does have some potential.
yeah. I've been seeing actually his big cube times recently have been
Yeah.
improving.
And
So
I
yeah.
mean, of course, we both know Marc Lim. He's
Oh,
he's been
yeah,
rising
yeah,
pretty quickly. Like I can't
yeah,
remember. It's a 222, some 220 something, pretty low 220, single and mean, which is pretty respectable. I think he has some room to
yeah.
improve, but from what I see in his solve sometimes, he does have potential. And he's also
Right.
not
Yeah,
that he's not that old and he's pretty young, so he can still work on it and get really good.
yeah, yeah. So it'll be quite interesting to see more people, break sub 220, sub 210.
Yeah, especially in Singapore. I mean, we are a small country. We don't have that many people, but I think in speed cubing, we are pretty good compared to the rest of the world.
Oh, we are really good. Like
Yeah,
our comps, this some times that wouldn't make finals in our comps would probably podium in other countries.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know why the standard's so high. Like, we have a lot of younger cubers who have potential but are not reaching it yet, which is pretty
Yeah,
exciting to see. Once they reach that potential, I think Singapore could be one of the best in the world, especially in big cubes.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Right. And the last thing I want to ask is, do you have any predictions for national podiums?
National podiums, like for N by Ns or like
You can predict for anything you want.
uh I think 3, 4, 5 blind, I'm already speaking to the winner. Multi-blind, if Jareth is going, then it could be pretty close between you and Jareth. But honestly, I'm not sure. It's either one. I'm predicting you, but
Oh, thank you.
I think small event Singapore has a long way to go, especially
Yeah,
pyramids, skew, whatever, all those small ones. I think we have quite a way to go. Two
yeah,
by two, Nigel, Fang probably win it. 3 by 3, I think is the I mean, it's important event, but
yeah.
I think Yong Teng should take it pretty well. I think that's a
Mm.
pretty like non. It's kind of debatable, but I think Yong
I
Teng.
would say it's debatable because under the pressure of the finals,
Yeah,
it's going to be hard
I
to
mean
say.
Daryl does have more experience. Obviously, he's been
Yeah,
queuing for so many years. I think Daryl second and either Tristan or Isaac Wong third, or
interesting.
maybe Deng Zhengping third as well. That would be exciting
Oh,
to see. A newcomer. No, not really a newcomer.
yeah.
Someone new
I
on the
mean,
podium would be nice.
we do like to see some
Yeah,
upsets.
like new people suddenly onto the scene of
Yes, yes.
podiums. 4 by 4, I'm aiming to win, but I don't practice it as much as 5 to 7. So, I mean, if I don't win, it's fine, but winning it obviously would be nice. I do practice it sometimes. But I think Isaac Wong would, I mean, obviously he would podium. He's like pretty good.
Yeah,
Daryl, podium as well, known for doing well in finals, national
yeah,
championships. 5 to
yeah.
7, I expect myself to win all, with Daryl second place for all three as well. Third place, I think, is a bit more ambiguous. I could see 5x5 could be either Isaac or Tristan. The two of
Mm-hmm.
them, I think they are pretty close sometimes. Six and
Yeah.
seven should be Tristan for both.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's really interesting to see, and once again, I really hope that you can achieve all these your goals for these,
Yeah,
and
thanks.
hope that we all have a good time 2 weeks later at Singapore Championship. Thanks
Yeah,
very much
competition is
for
always
coming on.
about having fun, I think. For me
Yeah,
personally, I
yeah,
love to have fun. Even if you
yeah.
don't get good solves, like you laugh with your friends and it's just a really good experience.
It's good not to take yourself too seriously. If not, once you mess up, and you'll make your whole day miserable.
But actually, now that I think about it, I think Carmen might be able to pull in a third place for seven. Might be if she does well. Because her global is pretty close to Tristan. I think if she's in good form, she might be able to win. Not win, like third place, like in
That's an
national.
interesting prediction. Well,
I
we'll
think
see two
roughly
weeks
big
later.
cubes is pretty similar. I mean, the events are not that difficult. No, not that different in terms of podium, five, six, seven.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on here and being on this first episode of this short interview series.
Yeah, no problem. It was really good. Thanks for having me.
Yep. See ya.
Thank you.